Man, I haven't talked to you. We haven't done a new show in 2024. So thank you all for joining us again for brand new content here on My World. I had to do a little bit of traveling. It was my wife's big birthday trip and yada yada yada. But we're back now, and boy, the world has been a changing. Last time you and I spoke, I still had hopes and dreams of Alabama being in the national championship. Not only did that not happen, Nick Saban done messed around and retired on me. But yeah, the Washington head coach lost the national championship last Monday and then flew into Tuscaloosa on Friday. It's a new era in Tuscaloosa. I started to hear the rumors about Nick Saban potentially retiring at the end of the year. About halfway through the season, I was told win, lose, or draw. This is probably it. So I really wanted to see him get one more. But I'm curious from your perspective, was it just a banner day to be a Tennessee Volunteer when you learn the reign of terror is over?
No, and that kind of goes to the human nature. Everybody absolutely loves a challenge. I would imagine in Knoxville, Tennessee, there was a tremendous exhale, probably not only in Knoxville, Tennessee, Oxford, Alabama, Athens, Georgia, Gainesville, Florida, all throughout college football. But man, Connie, taking a big step backwards when you really think about it, Saban, and I know that hits personally at home to the great state of Alabama, but Bill Belichick stepping aside,
Yeah.
Pete Carroll out in Seattle, three legendary coaches, and the vacuum. Life goes on. It's, nobody's irreplaceable, but certainly change. And I like to say the domino effect. And it's going to be really, really interesting to see how all these dominoes fall, and the rules have changed in college football in so many ways next year to the 12-team tournament and in pro. Our coach, which you didn't even mention here in Nashville, Tennessee Titans, let go of a guy that I think is an absolute winner. Look, has he not done too well the last season and a half? But you also fired his general manager, and a new guy comes in. And anyhow, nothing goes on forever by any stretch. And in the high stakes of whether it's professional wrestling or professional football or college football, when big money rolls around, change is going to happen. So I'd rather ask you, as a Tennessee fan, when Saban, that was my first thought. I'm like, wow, the dynamics change. I'm not all for it. He is the pinnacle, and you always going to have, you always kind of want, when you hear all the great rivalries in sports and Lakers Celtics, it's Larry Bird practiced his heart out day after day after day. And he says it on multiple interviews. Why? Because he wanted to beat them damn Lakers. It just kind of gives you a target. So no, I think Nick obviously got his reasons, but there is without question, he left the college football in a better place. He left the university in a better place. He certainly left the team in a better place. And that is, to me, what his legacy is all about. He instilled in things in kids' lives that they will take to their grave.
I'm a big fan of Nick Saban, and obviously I'm excited that he's sticking around in some capacity. They're going to give him an office inside the stadium there at Bryant-Denny, and college football is going to be fun next season. Lots of question marks about what Harbaugh is going to do and some other schools, but a 12-team playoff. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure all of our friends across the pond are going to love hearing us talk about college football. Of course, the NFL playoffs got underway this past weekend. As you're listening to this, as a heads up, Jeff and I are actually recording on Saturday before any of the games kick off. So we weren't able to talk about the playoffs today intelligently and it'd be timely for you, but we will be doing that next week, of course.
Quick question.
Yes,
is Joe Burrow in the playoffs?
No, sir. He is not. He is in this. He's going to play in the same amount of playoff games this postseason as Abyss.
Yeah, just checking. You know what, Connie? I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. Guess who I passed in the Atlanta airport Tuesday going to Jacksonville
Well, I hope it's Rick Boogs.
Close. Guy named Chris Park.
Oh my gosh, you saw him in the airport?
And guess what he had in his hand?
A clipboard.
He had a clipboard. It's the most craziest thing in the world. Walking through Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport with a clipboard in his hand.
Wait, hang on. You said you were going to TV, and I know that sometimes when you go to TV, you have a little tag along, a little companion. You didn't happen to have your little traveling partner with you when you ran into.
I didn't. I would have loved to have had my man Codes. He's been on a little down.
I want to talk about that because I saw a hilarious video that maybe wasn't funny, but it was for me, and I'm sorry for laughing. But I want to talk about that in just a minute. Okay. I just want to give a peek behind the curtain. There was a lot of chatter, as Dave Green likes for us to say, about this bet that Abyss made at the beginning of the season. He said Ohio State was back. The Crimson Tide didn't even have a chance to make the playoffs.
Nope.
And Joey Clipboard was going to make the AFC Championship and perhaps win it all. He was the next Joe Montana.
He sure did. He absolutely said those three things.
And we made a bet. And the bet, as you'll recall from our group chat, was that when none of that happened, Cody Angle gets to square up and punch Abyss as hard as he can right in the yam bag. And I was hoping right there it happened at the airport. Marcus was going to roll the footage.
Oh, shoot.
I'm ready for it. It's going to happen. But yes, and I'm glad that Cody's getting himself in fighting shape. Not only is it wrestling season, but our man had a little bit of a procedure done recently that
oh my goodness.
Felt like it was an event in your household. Care to share?
Roll the tape at 11. Did you get a chance to see any of the documentation via Instagram? Did you get a chance?
I saw his arrival back home at the ranch. We've established here that you live on an island of sorts.
Oh my God.
You have about 4 miles of shoreline behind your property. Normally it's only accessible by charter boat or helicopter, but y'all somehow managed to get a 4-wheeled vehicle there. And my man was on the struggle bus just getting out of there. And as I saw your face as you're helping him out, I said to myself, I can't wait to talk to Jeff about this.
I can't even put it into words. My man was selling. Can I tell you play by play that I wish we would have had on record?
I wish you would have recorded the entire thing because to sort of fill in the gaps here, Cody is in high school and he's at that age where a lot of kids, unfortunately, when they go to the dentist, they're told, hey man, there's no room in here. We're gonna have to yank out some wisdom teeth. And as I understand it, he got both of the top ones out. And as you might imagine, they help you when you have that sort of thing done with a little bit of, special medicine. It has different effects on different people.
Yep.
And it was like my man Cody got hit with a damn tranquilizer dart from an old Spider-Man cartoon. It was fantastic.
Well, I just found out before we hit play, Karen gave me a little bit more of it. Connie, he sat down in the chair and going to do the procedure. And bless his heart, he has been going through a lot of pain. They've been really bothering him. Really we had it scheduled, and he got some kind of bug, and so we had to push it another 3 weeks. So the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, it's been rough. But anyway, I guess he sits down in his chair, and he kind of knew from last time that he gets a little loopy. Well, he forgot one little small piece as far as that. Before you get sedated, you're going to have to run that needle. Oh, yep. Buddy, that little piece of information almost derailed everything. Karen said, let me leave the room. So that all got done. The procedure was a super success, pretty quick. And the nurses got him in the car. And he was back home in 90 minutes. And Karen texted me on the way home and said, hey, I'm going to need some help. I'm like, okay, he got no big deal. Buddy, when they pulled up in the driveway and she pulled in and then backed up to the front door, I said, okay, Here
We
go.
know what we're dealing with now. Yeah.
And when we opened that door and his head was a bobbing, and wait to the payoff here in just a minute. His head's a bobbing, and Garrett, and then Karen's getting tickled at me because it just caught me off guard, and she's kind of giggling, and Cody's smiling. So
he's in on the bit. Yes.
He's completing. He's doing the feet, and he's doing the Herman Munster walk and all that. And I said, honey, you go in the door for us. Anyway, we got him in bed. And they said, prop him up. Don't let him lie flat. Got him in bed and got him over in the middle of the bed and got the pillow situated in his head and everything. And one arm was like halfway hanging off the bed. And I said, hey, man, let's scoot you kind of in the middle of the bed. So anyway, got him in the middle of the bed. I just kind of crossed his hands on his belly where he's just kind of laying back. He looked at me through his galls and said, Dad, just like Darby Allin, coffin drop. I'm ready for it. Oh, it was beautiful. So he is, man, what a recovery. He pulled the strap down, full night of sleep, had a couple of episodes, but he's ready to go. He's ready. He's ready. He is on the mend and ready to get back in his amateur season as well as his pro wrestling ENT career. So we're full tilt.